the concept of wondering who Beethoven's muse was, because I don't think he ever specifically...
Beethoven's probably gay.
Well, maybe, but... I
always thought him... I know they weren't of the same time, but I always thought him and... I've always shipped him and Mozart, you know?
They would have a lot to talk about.
Although, wasn't Beethoven deaf?
Deaf.
He's deaf.
Hey, howdy, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Mike's Monday Jams, the official podcast for music appreciators everywhere. Today we're going to be talking about the song For Elise by the group Saint Motel. Let's get it.
This one's for Elise, Norma Jean, Patty Boyd, and Carol King, Hollywood Lawn, Linda Eastman, Candy Darling, got it started with a song. Monday, November 3rd, first one out of spooky season into the 11th month of the year. EC and MC on the track. We don't have a lot of news on this one just because we are recording so close to last week's episode, but we definitely got some stuff to talk about. But how are you feeling about November?
I'm feeling ready. I don't remember which season it is in that Barstool guys, like 11 seasons of the year or whatever. But I do, it's a season where my fall vibes aren't competing with people's Halloween.
Yes, it's just fall.
It's just fall. See, this past week of Halloween, I'm down with Halloween. For me, Halloween is just like
I don't care.
It's not a season.
I don't care.
I'm not into this. I'm not about the spooky season. Maybe 2 weeks.
No, I don't care.
At most October. People who are getting excited for Halloween in September, I'm never gonna understand that one.
It does seem like in the past couple of years there has been a big push for Halloween to be more of a season and more decor. I feel like growing up trick or treating, it was like maybe you'd come across one or two houses that were decorated, but now it's like the neighborhood's decked out.
People are decorating for Halloween like they decorate for Christmas. Yep. I feel like, which I don't want to. I'm not trying to yuck people's yum. I'm not trying to hurt
mom's yum.
Your joy. My mom's late onset goth when she's gotten into Halloween recently. Maybe one day I'll get into that. Yeah. I have evolved. I used to be like Halloween is an evening. Mm-hmm. I used to not even think it was more than that. So I'm better about it now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I like the fall vibes of November, and I've also grown more into Thanksgiving than I once was.
Yes. I like more food now. Thanksgiving's great.
I love the Thanksgiving Day parade, so I do love Thanksgiving.
If you could sum up November in a song, what would it be?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for that question.
I know, it's an on the spot. You ask me on the spot questions all the time.
You're the host of this show. I don't typically get quizzed on this show.
Can't guarantee there won't be any other on the spot questions in the remainder of this episode, so just be ready. I feel like you should be presenting this news, but I did see this week that Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry are official.
Yeah, they went out for her birthday in Paris. Mm-hmm. Y'all, weird. Weird.
What, to go out to Paris for your birthday?
No, to be dating the ex-Canadian Prime Minister.
Well, have you known Katy Perry to be normal?
Normal? No, I haven't noticed.
Normal?
I haven't noticed her to be normal. But Russell Brand and John Mayer made a little more sense than Justin Trudeau.
Those are three very different guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say she has a type.
A pale with dark hair. Doesn't matter the length of the hair, though. Or nationality.
It would appear not. The Joe Bros are getting some critique recently during Game 2 of these World Series in Toronto in the middle of the fifth inning. The MLB always does a Stand Up to Cancer thing. They've got a big partnership with Stand Up to Cancer, a great cause. And it's like everybody stops playing and they hold up the little sign that they're standing for so-and-so, usually a family member or a friend. They know somebody that was affected by cancer. It's a very emotional, moving moment. And normally it just kind of stops at that. It's like a moment of silence, kind of stand up, thank you, acknowledging it. Let's kick cancer's ass, woohoo. this time they had the Jonas Brothers perform after they do the little moment, middle of the fifth inning. And the Jonas Brothers are ambassadors for Stand Up to Cancer. And they played their most recent single, I Can't Lose, has been contracted by ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. So they played that song middle of the fifth inning. So they're getting a lot of heat for, why did they play in the middle of this game?
Which I don't understand.
No, but they're getting a lot of heat for that. And so much so, it was funny that Joe Jonas recently, I think he commented on the MLB's post of them saying, like, because they've been getting so much heat, he just leaned into it and he was like, commented, why these guys? It's pretty funny. But
why are we critiquing the Jonas Brothers?
I know. It should be more an MLB thing. They should have played pregame.
Yes.
Not middle of the fifth inning.
The Jonas Brothers didn't go to the MLB and say, "Hey, can we play in the middle of the fifth inning?
Yeah,
Can we interrupt the fifth inning and play this song?"
Contractually obligated to do so.
Yeah, there was not their idea. We don't need to be critiquing the Jonas Brothers. We can be like, "Yo, MLB, why did you have the Jonas Brothers play in the middle of the fifth inning?"
Right.
But the Jonas Brothers didn't. I think this is the stupidity of the world right now. Though you think like you attach this to the Jonas, it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
How can you? Let's use some critical thinking skills, okay?
I think that's maybe why Joe commented that, because he was like,
and it's like, I'm not saying it is weird. Like, why did they play in the fifth inning?
Oh, for
but
sure.
It's weird on the MLB's part for having them play in the fifth inning.
Correct.
They didn't say, so we'll be coming out in the fifth inning.
Correct. People are saying that the Jonas Brothers saved the Dodgers, though, because after their performance, I think the game was tied at 1, but the Dodgers went up to 5-1, and they would win the second game. And they won the third game, so people were attributing the Dodgers' success maybe to the Jonas Brothers, too, as well. So
I've heard Shohei Ohtani loves the Jonas Brothers, but his favorite is Frankie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Which, more Jonas Brothers news, Kevin announced some solo work.
Yeah, Kevin's has a solo single coming out. I think it's November 20th.
I don't know if I think there's an album with it too. I'm not sure though.
Maybe later. I think he announced the single like a month early.
Yeah.
So we'll at least listen to the single and talk about it on the podcast. But do I want to listen to a Kevin solo album? Probably not.
I don't know. You're saying that now, but
unless it's really good.
Exactly. You might be pleasantly surprised. I'm intrigued. I'm curious because it does seem like this most recent era /
They're trying to involve Kevin more.
But it seems like they're all about being a unit right now.
Yes.
So I'm interested because then Kevin.
Well, I mean, Joe released a solo album earlier this year.
Okay, but that was earlier this year. This new album they had came out in like August.
I know.
So I don't know. I feel like they're in this like we're brothers type thing.
So I think it's gonna be like I think like what his post was like that he finally feels like comfortable and supported to do that.
Okay.
But calling all Kevin girls. I'm not a Kevin. Sorry.
Some 21 Pilots news for you. They recently had some like a bit of a Louvre heist of their own. Of course, not to the extent. They did some like fan exhibition for a show out in LA that contained a lot of artifacts, almost like a 21 Pilots museum, but kind of little bit of a pop-up exhibition. And their song Level of Concern, it's got the cover of a USB drive. It was their COVID song. Mm-hmm. The picture in the cover of the USB drive, that's an actual USB drive. And they had it at this exhibition and somebody stole it.
Talk about something no one's going to care that you have.
Correct.
I have the USB from the cover of the song 21 Pilots released during COVID. Yep. Okay.
And so they released some statement. They emailed everybody that, was there, bought a ticket or whatever. Said something that was like, please just return it. That item has like significant emotional meaning to us. Like, we don't care at this point. Like, anonymity will be respected. Anonymity will be respected. They just want the thing back.
That's like when the movers stole our art.
Yeah, we just want it back.
Just bring it back, and I won't press charges. But you said that you liked this, and then you stole it from me.
You said that's what you said. So yeah, not as quite a Louvre heist operation. I'm sure the fellas at the Louvre are saying the same thing. Just bring it back.
Yeah,
Anonymity
totally.
will be respected.
I don't know. I don't know if they've been able to charge the guy yet.
Oh yeah, they got that.
They'll
crazy
have 4 days
90-hour
to
law
charge him
whatever.
or something.
Crazy.
I haven't watched any videos about it today.
Well,
But yeah, who wants that USB drive?
I don't know. No, I don't.
That is so lame. No one is gonna care that you have that, or even know what it is.
Nope.
You're gonna be like, okay.
If it's a item that takes some explaining to do, then that's not a flex.
No, and also it's a
Flex.
USB drive. Who cares?
Some drama with Kevin Parker and Tame Impala. His recently released album Deadbeat came out a couple weeks ago. It seems like he's taking things a little personally.
No.
He the other day on his story posted like it looked like some old reviews of people trashing Currents, and obviously Currents became like
That's
his
the
biggest
one.
album or whatever.
Mhm.
So he like posted some of those reviews from back then and how people were clowning him then, and then it became this whole thing. And he had posted something. It was just like a picture of like a landscape, and it said something along the lines like the caption was like, "Remember, guys, like it's just music, like whatever, blah blah blah. Don't need to take it so personally," or like whatever, something to that effect. I could pull it up, but it's really not worth it. But like, it seems like he's really taken some these like negative reviews for the album like super personally. People saying that maybe he's a little bit of experiencing some bit of a breakdown.
Brother.
So it's a bit interesting. He did some Zane Lowe interview recently. I haven't been able to watch it just yet, but it's been on my list. Something weird's going on with Kevin Parker for sure.
Taylor Swift did the same thing. She also did an interview with Zane Lowe and got all upset about her haters about the new album.
Like, grow up. You freaking multi-millionaires, both of you.
Yeah, well, Taylor
it.
Swift's a billionaire.
Right, get over it.
You don't have to talk about your haters on a podcast.
Get over it. Be proud of the thing
Be
that
like,
you made.
be like, some people don't like it, but I've got 8 bajillion girls who would literally stop a train for me, and they're pretending to love it. So maybe not pretending. Maybe some people like it. You can like what you want.
But who gives a shit? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like,
no, for real.
I know, like, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into projects like this, and you want people to like it, but I think once you start to drift into that territory of, like, aiming to please people while simultaneously, like, trying to gratify yourself for whatever direction you're taking as an artist, like, those two things are going to conflict at some point.
That, and also, it's more the reaction to it. Like, you can personally be upset that people don't like it.
Publicly is crazy.
But to publicly, or even if you were like publicly like, damn, like,
Yep.
damn, I worked hard on this. It upsets me that people don't like it.
Right.
But to take it personally and act offended, the offense is what is pitiful.
Grow up.
Grow up.
Well, since it's November now, that means the Spotify Wrapped data collector has stopped.
Yes, last week we meant to remind y'all you only had 1 week left.
Yeah, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, I'm glad we didn't remind people. You shouldn't have your thing swayed. You know, it should be a natural.
It's probably really unlikely you could sway it in 1 week, too.
You just have it like playing Slide Away over and over while you sleep. Just cue it up.
You.
Glad
we didn't overreact.
Just trying to get the listens in. Just trying to make sure it's at the top. No, so yeah, you got any predictions over there, little lady?
Well, I think our artist today will be one of my top artists.
Sure.
If not the top artist, and then also the artist of Slide Away. I think Oasis will probably be my number one. I really don't know what my number one song will be. It's not going to be Beer Don't. If somehow it was Beer Don't, then I know that it is not true anymore.
You've been hacked.
I've been hacked, and I'm possessed by the demonic presence of Beer Don't.
Sure.
I have not been listening. I guess, y'all know me, my everyday jam. I don't listen to that much music. I'm not saying I think it's out of the top 100, because I don't know if I've listened to more than 100 songs this year.
That doesn't really help our whole official music appreciator podcast.
I really appreciate the certain songs. I guess I mean, listen to them a lot,
Doesn't really help our
I'm
whole...
sorry, that's not true. I've definitely listened to more than 100 songs this year.
Doesn't help our image.
It's probably going to be in the playlist because I've listened to it more than once this year, but there's no way it's in the top songs. There's no way. Last year I was convinced it wouldn't be my top song because I didn't listen to it on my own very much, but then I thought back on all of our wedding festivities,
Sure.
And I'm so well known for enjoying this song that people kept playing it for me.
That's your fault.
So it's my fault. But I think that's how it became my number one song. This year, though, I really don't know. I'm is it going to be Champagne Supernova? But it's Champagne Supernova 7 minutes long. So, I think it's probably by plays, not how many minutes you've listened to the song.
It is, yes.
So I don't know if it could be Champagne Supernova.
We shall see.
We'll see. What about you?
I mean, Oasis is going to be at the top of it. Flying Colors, I'm sure. Just interested to see a little bit more about the numbers too. So we'll see. I don't know. I love getting this data, and I love the presentation of it all. It's always fun. But we've got the physical media going for us too.
And I've got you. We were saying that last year. It's I don't know if mine's that accurate because we're always together and you play the songs.
Yes, and we get the physical media. We got XM.
We do also listen to the radio.
And I'd be listening to Nugs sometimes too,
And I watch and listen to podcasts more than anything.
Right. So it always bugs me the total number of minutes listened to every year, because I think I'm in the upper quartile or whatever. But I just know it could be so much more if it accounted for everything. Anyway,
I had one more thought about the World Series.
Oh, please do.
That I thought we should share.
Okay.
I'll put the data up on the screen.
Data?
So I don't get it wrong. I say data. I won't say data.
Data?
But really interesting fact about Mr. Brad Paisley, who of course we love here on the podcast. At least one episode about him. Maybe a couple. So, we were talking about the World Series last night's. I don't think he sang that.
In this collision.
The World Series. Yes, so we're recording this on a Tuesday. We recorded a little early. Last night's World Series game, Game 3, became the second longest World Series game in history. Went to 18 innings, was 6.5 hours long.
It was 2 games.
It was two full
games in one.
So, but this is second longest. Brad Paisley sang the national anthem before the game. It was beautiful, of course. You gotta love a country national anthem. That really feels American,
He takes his hat off too.
Oh yeah. Also, you might think, what was the longest game? If 18 wasn't the longest, well, it was in 2018, which I'm so smart because last night it's or maybe that was this morning. It's well, has there been one that's longer? And I was probably that game in 2018. And I was right.
Yep.
That because it was also 18 innings, so it was tied for the longest in innings, but that game was 7.5 hours. The innings were longer.
Didn't have pitch clock.
So who sang the national anthem that game? Brad Paisley.
Bo Diddley? Oh.
Brad Paisley has sang the national anthem at the top 2 longest World Series games, and every World Series game he sang the national anthem at 5 World Series games, 5 different years.
Shoot.
They have all been longer than 5 hours.
Something about him, man.
I don't know what juju he puts in the air that's y'all should be tied. But yeah, probably one of the most interesting fun facts I've ever heard.
Absolutely.
Why the hell does that, that's the most insane coincidence?
Yeah,
All right,
that's
Brad.
like Nick Castellanos and his tragedies. It's
Oh.
akin to it.
Love.
I got a random sidebar question that has nothing to do with music appreciation, but if a game goes to 18 innings, it's like, the concessions are usually closed by the end of the 8th. It's like, do they reopen them
I
at
have
some
wondered
point?
that.
It's like, it's so long. Like,
It's
I know
like
they
at
stopped
least-
selling alcohol at a certain end of the 7th
It
or
would
whatever.
at least need. I would think you'd have to sell like some basic food and water.
Or at least let the guys with the carts, you just make the materials for them to bring it to you at your seat. The
I
hot
feel like those
dogs.
should be the first people that stop working because they're gonna be
I
like.
guess that's true. They're the most
falling
mobile, and yeah, they're standing. I guess that's true.
But
It
no.
wouldn't make sense if they closed the shops and just made everything for.
Yeah,
purpose of
I don't think
delivery.
I've ever been to a baseball game in person that went to extra innings. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I'm sure I have. I don't recall.
or maybe it was just so exciting I didn't think to go to the concessions.
Well, I think that definitely plays a part, but I think for most extra inning games, it's done in 1 or 2 extras.
yeah, not usually a
Right.
whole second game.
Anyway, sidebar. We had a great show experience last week seeing Saint Motel again for the second time this year on the Symphony in the Sky tour in New Haven, Connecticut, of all places. And it was a phenomenal show.
It was awesome.
Mostly the same set list and whatnot, and the same presentation of things, but it was still pretty cool. Very, very small venue, and
Minute.
And we played the fangirl card and waited around after the show for a little bit. But since it was such a small venue, we felt that it was appropriate to do so. Also,
Yeah.
It cleared out pretty quickly.
There was only maybe 7 other people wanting to meet them. So it's like, okay, they're going
And
to...
probably 800 people there total. If that,
Yeah. It was so small.
if that. But
It was at a college bar.
yeah, but
Which, why are they playing at a college bar?
couldn't tell you. But great show, great experience. Waited after, and sure enough, your idol, Mr. AJ from Saint Motel, the main songwriter / frontman for the band, came out. And as we were waiting around, we kind of decided in the moment. We didn't decide beforehand that we were going to do this. Otherwise, I would have brought something to sign. But of course, we were waiting around. And it's like, well, what is he going to sign? Your face?
Yeah, I was like...
Your
I
foot?
had on a Saint Motel shirt. I was like, I guess he could sign the shirt. But
Then you can never wear the shirt.
no, and I wear that shirt all the time.
So you suggested going back in, which how I re-entered, I don't know. The security guard must have just not been paying attention.
There wasn't even a security guard.
But re-entered,
I was like, just walk back in there and go up to the merch.
they had one CD copy of your favorite album of all time, the one we're talking about today, Saint Motel Television, left on at the merch stand. And so as I'm waiting to buy it, there are these 2 girls in front of me taking forever. They're chatting it up with the merch guy, debating sizes, talking this, talking that, which I guess is fine. I'd be pissed off if you were doing this before the show.
Yeah, at this point, it's like they probably didn't even notice somebody was waiting behind them.
But I'm waiting. I'm like, come on, man. And then I turn to my right, and I see AJ leaving the joint, and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta go. So I am able to get the CD pretty quickly, tear the plastic wrap off. Even the merch guy was so nice. He was like, oh, this is the last one, but I'm just checking to make sure the case isn't cracked or whatever. I was like, brother, I do not care.
Don't care.
I'm so appreciative that you care for that right now, but this is not the time. So run out there, and then you're like, oh, I just saw him. He went over by the bus. I was like, I know, I just saw him leave. So walk over, see him. Hey, Mr. AJ. Because you were debating, what do you even tell him?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what I was going to say, because you probably should have something prepared to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I've kind of tried to base my life off of this album,
Mhm.
the aesthetics of this album, the joy of this album.
Yes.
So I was like, well, I could tell him that I based my life off the album. And that was what I said. I said I based my life's aesthetic off this album, which is very true. We have a huge like 20-foot rug underneath us right now that I bought because the colors reminded me of the album. I have a butter yellow stand mixer because I was like, I want our house to look like this album. I mean, I don't want any women's, booty
no boots,
cheeks.
No cheeks.
But, like, specifically, like, the hues of the colors.
Yes. So, I immediately, kind of posed for a photo with you because I got on the other side. And I was like, oh, we're taking a photo now. So I, immediately, pulled up my camera and thank God the flash was on. Turned out to be a pretty good photo.
It's a pretty good picture.
Holding a pizza box. He's pointing to you. It's a pretty good photo. And... we asked him if he could sign your favorite album of all time. He was like, "Of course. Let me go back into the bus, get changed, put this down, and I'll be right back." Mm-hmm. And we were like, "Cool." So we waited at the front of the bus for another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, and there was all these people trying to convince me he wasn't gonna come back out.
You're like, "Dude, he just said."
They were like, "Yeah, I don't think he's coming." I was like, he seems like a pretty good guy. I don't think that he just bold-faced lied to me.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was also
there's like 6 people here.
There's so few of us. Like, yeah, I do think he's gonna come back out. I was like, he said he had to set the pizza down and he was a little sweaty. I was like, I think he's gonna come back out. I had no doubt that he was gonna return. I was like, that would be crazy.
Reemerges 5-10 minutes later. Kind of corrals us all to one little spot in front of the venue. And amazing, he looks at you and he's like, okay, and then he's like, I need to sign that. So the recall, not that it's just very personable.
It's just I was right. I was like, the man told me he's gonna come back out here and sign this, and
super duper nice guy. One of the other patrons was asking him about his daughter. He had a bunch of positive things to say about her. He's got a 2-year-old daughter. So very, very nice guy. Chatting it up, answering questions. He asked Emma what her stance was in the New Haven pizza order of who's got the best.
Which I recently found out both my parents didn't really like, and they were lying to us. But that's I understand. I am the very thin crust type girly.
So it was a great time. Got a nice artifact for you. It's very, very few people get to get their favorite album of all time signed by those people in person and see it happen. So how does that make you feel?
It was awesome. It was great. Cloud 9. Loved it. Brought me immense joy.
Love it. Great reflection. But let's talk about your origins with Saint Motel, shall we? Take it away.
I don't really know where I heard it first, but I mean, they really came onto the scene with My Type, and was that 2013, maybe 2014, 2015.
Just my type. Oh, you got a pulse and you are real.
Yeah. So I just remember hearing that song, and then my mom and I were like, "That song's funny," and we all know that my favorite thing is songs that are good, but the lyrics are also interesting and ideally humorous.
Yes.
So perfect. So I was like, love that. Then I find the EP with my type, and then I'm like, I love all these songs. And then, so I was really into all of them, and then they came out with Saint Motel Television. And Saint Motel Television, they played the singles on Alt Nation. So I was already, I'm an Alt Nation girl.
So you're, of course, referring to the XM.
The XM channel, Alt Nation, because I only think about things in terms of XM channel. Oh, this sounds like 80s on 8. You know, like the 80s on 8 classic.
It's a great box to put things in.
Oh, yeah. That's the best type of radio stations. I know people make fun of me for loving XM so much, but I couldn't live without it.
If people had
Y2 Country,
they would understand.
Yeah, then they would get it. But, yeah, so I was really excited for Saint Motel to come out. That vinyl I had, my dad got me as a gift. Like, I think he pre-ordered it.
Well.
So yeah, so I've been a fan for a decade. Okay.
Do you recall when Saint Motel Television came out? Were you
Yes, I was so excited about it.
Okay. So you were anticipating its release.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. And then I was it's kind of how I felt. I mean, not to the degree, because Saint Motel Television may change. It's really hyperbole, but I feel like it changed my life. But like how kind of how I talked about the recent album, and I was so excited about it, and then it's like, oh my god, like it was actually so good.
Yeah.
So loved every song on the album. I
Do you
think I did
remember,
also
like-
have the CD, but I don't have it anymore.
Do you remember like the first time you ever heard it? Like,
Not in vivid detail,
Okay.
unfortunately. But I do remember like that the vinyl that we have is very used. Like I used to listen to it in my bedroom all the time.
Nice.
So I remember they played Born Again on All Nation a lot, and Gigi was not about that one.
I wonder
I
why.
remember we'd be driving around and I'd put on All Nation, and she'd be like, I don't know how I don't know what that song, I don't know how I feel about that. Which is probably like, I was thinking about it the other day, like probably the only controversial song Saint Motel has.
Sure.
They're very not controversial. You know,
Pretty
they're
agreeable,
clean.
pretty agreeable artsy dudes.
They're pretty clean. So yeah, but no, I was really into it. Loved it then, and then of course dedicated through all 3 very drawn out parts of motion picture soundtrack. I have obviously critiqued their artistic slowness, but that they listen to my critiques because they released 2 albums in a year.
Yes. Yeah, and so you saw them open for Panic.
Oh yeah, so then they toured with Panic, I guess. I don't know what tour that was. Was it Pray for the Wicked, or maybe it was... No.
It had to have been like 16, 17, so after Death of a Bachelor.
Okay, maybe it was Death of a Bachelor. Saw them at the FedEx Forum. I was so excited because I was like, oh my god, they're taking out Saint Motel. And in my mind, Saint Motel was definitely big enough to be opening up for Panic. And then it said, the bill said Panic at the Disco, Saint Motel, Mr. Wives. Mr. Wives had 2 crappy songs, okay? And so I'm like, first off, it was listed that way, so that would make you think Saint Motel was the second opener. I remember me and Lauren went, and then we went and we were at the merch, and it started slightly early, and I was like, oh my god, like, I think that's Destroyer. And I was like, what? Then we start running. It's like, oh my god, Saint Motel's playing first. So then we run. We're like, there's so few people in the seats. Some FedEx Forum person told us to stop running. I was like, what, are you, a lifeguard? Yeah, so...
This isn't a pool.
This isn't a pool. I'm trying to hear Saint Motel. So, yeah, and then Mr. Wives was the second opener, and it was like, don't y'all know that, like, that y'all are not talented, and Saint Motel is really talented. So I saw them open up for Panic, but they only played, like, 4 songs, like, played for, like, 20 minutes. It was sad. I was like, which, like, I mean, Panic was awesome, so, like, I had a great time at that show, but I had really thought, like, I was gonna see it, like, a good amount of Saint Motel. Yeah. And then they toured when I was in college, and I had tickets to see them in Atlanta, and then I got, I'm one of those people that thought I had COVID way before COVID was a thing, and I was deathly ill. And they gave me this cough syrup that was like I couldn't drive. And like I know a lot of people will say that because for attention, they'll be like, oh my god, it's like so crazy, I can't even drive. But like I really couldn't drive. Like I could like barely see straight. Probably shouldn't have been taking that. And so I was supposed to go with my friend we're not friends anymore. She was a piece of crap. But she was supposed to drive us, and then she was being weird about it, and then everybody was like, you should just not go. And I don't even think I resold the tickets, but deeply regret it. I should have gone, because then COVID happened, and you didn't see it. It would have been it was like February 15th or something. I was supposed to go to this show.
And then you wouldn't see them again until May of 2025.
Yeah. And that was in 2020. So
yeah,
I should have gone.
But yeah, no,
I should have been there.
We've talked about them at length, and you can go back into the archives for those critiques. But definitely wanted to take a note to your favorite album since you got it signed this week. But just refresher, main guy AJ, he's from Minneapolis. Minneapolis.
I always want to call it Minneapolis too.
Minneapolis. And he met his fellow Saint Motel bandmates at USC in film school. They're very artsy. They've done a lot with different styles, and they have kind of always done their own thing, and they're pretty good at doing their own thing when they do it. So they've done a lot with their albums, but it's remained pretty clear that they're film kids.
Mhm.
It seems like.
But I appreciate the reason that I would not have flourished in film school. They are just fun and artistic.
Yes.
They are not trying to make many statements with their music, which I appreciate. I don't need that.
They don't do a lot of interviews either. I was trying to watch a bunch and try to comb through some stuff, but they don't really do a lot of press work.
I'm really starting to wonder, are they much smaller than I thought they've been for the past decade?
I don't know, maybe, but we've critiqued their taking their time on their projects before, but the one interview I did see, AJ did say he was like, the easy part with the creative process is starting things. He was like, finishing is a whole different story, and it's like, brother,
we know, brother.
So yeah, they definitely take their time, which many artists, I'm sure, probably want whatever deal they have. It seems like they are under no pressure whatsoever to do what they want. So I'm sure like they are just absolutely chilling where they need to be. And I'm sure, again, a lot of artists are jealous of whatever deal they got. But great at performing, especially with this most recent tour. Obviously, it's our most recent exposure, but they're just good at filling the space. Like we saw them, play for like a 4,500 capacity theater in May, and then this like small bar, 800 people, and they were good at filling both of those spaces. Not in like, it didn't feel, I don't know, it felt very good for the space. The shows were mixed very well. They sounded very well. There was never any awkwardness. Like, it was just a very good show.
At the bar, it wasn't like it was too much.
Yep. But yeah, you could tell both times, like, they were super comfortable themselves in both venues, despite being incredibly different, which is always a big thing. I feel like whenever it's smaller venues, sometimes you can get a little uncomfortable because it feels like you're kind of on top of your audience, and like you can see everybody's face. You can see everybody's facial expressions as well. Like you're getting some live feedback then, but for some of those like bigger venues, I guess they can be a little alienating, and it's just like, oh look, thousands of people. But they are super comfortable on a stage, which is always nice to see. And great showman. But the album, Saint Motel, came out in October of 2016. The song Move is on FIFA. It's on the FIFA soundtrack. But another thing about Saint Motel, they have appearances a lot of random spaces. For example, their song The Moment, a bit of a deeper cut, has been used by the MLB.
So strange.
In cut to commercial. So it feels like they have a lot of interesting appearances with some of their work. So I get what you're saying. On one hand, I'm trying to look for interviews from them, and I can't find any from this year, let alone stuff from years past. But I get what you're saying about maybe I thought they were bigger. But then it's like, I hear them playing their song on TV.
Yeah, and I mean, My MLB, Type is still in commercials.
Yeah, and I cut to commercial, I'm like, so there's definitely a weird duality there of they're kind of on the verge of,
maybe they just like being like that.
And I don't blame them. If I was a touring musician, I feel like they have it made in the shade. Like, it is a perfect amount of name recognition where you have notoriety.
As long as they're making the money, would be especially because there's so many of them.
Well, yeah, but it's the perfect amount of like, you have the name where you can go play places and you can tour around the world. Because they just got back from freaking Australia, doing some dates in Australia.
More power to them.
Or they're about to do that. I can't remember, but they definitely are doing like 4 or 5 in the land down under. But like, they have the power to do that. But then they can also go to the grocery part of Target, In
the grocery part of Target. Sure.
And enjoy living life and not have to worry about always being hounded.
Yeah.
So they have the perfect amount of famous, if you ask me. But the album Saint Motel produced 4 singles: Move, Happy Accidents, Born Again, and Destroyer. And it is your favorite album of all time.
It sure is.
What are your like biggest notes from it? What are your biggest takeaways from it?
I like all the songs are very different, but also feel very similar. I feel like this song, I've listened to this album probably more than any other complete album. Not probably, definitely more than any complete album other complete album ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they're just engraved in my brain.
You know these inside and out.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. Let's talk about today's song. Not a single on the album, but perhaps the most genius in terms of writing for the album, for Elise. It is a song that's dedicated to muses, more of the kind of old Hollywood / mid-century kind of muses in the 1900s. It's the source of inspiration, obviously the song For Elise by Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Beautiful composition. But the concept of wondering who Beethoven's muse was, because I don't think he ever specifically...
Beethoven's probably gay.
Well, maybe, but... I
always thought him... I know they weren't of the same time, but I always thought him and... I've always shipped him and Mozart, you know?
They would have a lot to talk about.
Although, wasn't Beethoven deaf?
Deaf.
He's deaf. Beethoven's deaf.
But yes, this immortal beloved, this mysterious woman who is the inspiration for this art. And, I think it's funny in the fact that the song acknowledges, like, well, it's tough when you don't have inspiration to write songs. But there's some bitches that, we could talk about.
We could talk about these hoes.
Shout out to girls. Let's talk about them.
See, funny writing.
Yeah, and so I think that obviously it's an ode to some of those more contemporary quote-unquote muses and how they've influenced culture when there's clearly a bout of writer's block going on. So it's definitely very clever.
All the songs are very clever on this album.
This one in particular because it has a melody that's recognized by everybody. And granted, it's got a jazzy twist to it, which is I love. But like it's almost like you spend the whole song waiting for the breakdown when the melody is played, when the main hook is played. So it keeps you in, it keeps you interested, and it's almost like you're waiting for it.
This one's for Elise.
And this is my favorite song off the album.
Yes.
Big time vote. Probably every song on this album is a vote of mine.
Big time vote.
Yep. Even even the sad song on this album has, first off, it doesn't sound very sad, but also has like funny lyrics.
Yes.
Like long distance, like local long distance relationship. It's like talking about like you feel like disconnected from your lover, but like even just calling it, he's like, this is our local long distance relationship. Even that is clever and kind of funny.
It is, yeah. So yeah, for as long as it takes them to generate, content for us to listen to, like they do usually deliver on it pretty well. And they're smart people who make smart music. It's very very intentional, very I don't want to say rehearsed, but it's just very
thought out.
Yes, because I don't want to say produced either, because I don't feel like it's overproduced. But anyway, that's for Elise and why you should listen to it, and maybe given the whole album a spin, because it's also pretty good. And now it's time for the segment portion of today's show. Kicking us off as always is Emma's Everyday Jam, the song that you've been regularly listening and bumping and cruising along to this past week. What you got?
Well, I've been listening to Saint Motel because I've been on a high. I got to meet AJ, signed my album. So I've been listening for Elise a lot. But if I'm not going to pick for Elise, my second favorite song off of Saint Motel Vision is Getaway. So I'll pick Getaway.
Get away now. Yeah, let's go all the way now. Let's make our getaway now. Yeah, let's go all the way now. Let's make our getaway.
Now it's time for our major minor chords, a segment of the show in which we discuss our respective highs and lows for the week. What say you?
I think our high is the same, and I'll let you talk about it. My low is that I've tweaked my back. I've had an ongoing back injury for, it feels like a decade. And it hasn't flared up anytime recently, but I don't know what I did to it, but it got me last night, and I've kind of been on the mend today. But I think we're getting better. I'm also worried that while we've been talking, my throat has started hurting.
Whoa,
so
sus.
keep me in your thoughts and prayers there.
My swerve in the corner, because you said you tweaked your back.
Okay.
Your back's been tweaked since this album came out.
Yep.
Crazy.
It feels like it.
Mine are starting to get dry out, so I feel like my hands are cracking and I'm damaging them, and it's
I'm
just
crackly too.
that time of year again, I suppose. But Major, we're moving back home to Memphis, baby. We're moving back home to the 901, baby. We're going back to Music Town, Memphis. The music appreciators are going back to Music Town, Memphis. Beale Street, baby. The blues, the Delta blues, Elvis. Come on, but whoa, mama, we're moving back to Memphis.
Whoa, mama.
So it's definitely been a very, very big high for us. We're happy to announce it on the show, and our episodes over the next couple of months might look a little tumultuous, so just join us on that journey. Yes.
Also, bear with us because Spotify hates us nowadays. We've gotten too big.
Yes.
Spotify doesn't like us anymore.
Too popular. Now it's time for an Odd Choice for Public, the segment in which we discuss a odd choice of song for public. This week we were in the Target, not the grocery part, in the fashion department specifically. And I don't know if they're playing like a Halloween playlist or something, but the lyrics to the song were she's a monster, but I don't mind, or something like that.
She's a monster, beautiful monster.
I have no idea who the song is by.
It kind of sounded like a knockoff of Usher, but it was not Usher.
Yes. And I was trying to find it, but I'm sorry, in what world is that a compliment?
If you called me a monster, I'd say get the hell out.
And again, I'm sure it was playing into the Halloween thing, but it was just
I didn't hear any other Halloween songs while we were in there, though.
I was just listening. I was like, am I really hearing this?
And now we keep going. She's a monster. A real big fat monster. Ugly, gross monster.
She's insufferable.
I really hate her.
It's not a good thing to say.
It's not nice.
Now it's time for our honorable mentions. Last but not least, the segment of the show in which we discuss the songs that almost made a cut or follow a similar rhyme or reason to today's episode. So kicking us off in the first slot is another one by Saint Motel from Saint Motel Television. It's Born Again, so Gigi's going to be really happy.
I'm born again.
Next, he might be having a mental breakdown, but the song Dracula by Tame Impala is pretty
festive.
Big, yes, quite, and it's very good to listen to. Also, we didn't talk about it when it came out, but it's a pretty good song. A single release from our buds from the band Camino, but the song 1234. Give it a spin.
Only have 60 seconds to light up the stars. I couldn't wait any longer, so here at your door. I missed 11:11. I wish on 12:34.
That's going to do it for us this week, folks. Happy November. Happy Turkey Month. We appreciate the follow, comment, share, subscribe, listen, share, rating, all of that good stuff. And we shall see you next week.
Bye.